watching
Hey guys.
players. Hi.
Yeah. Hey, hi everybody. We didn't do a show yesterday because I forgot. I was at Home Depot, and then today Brian forgot, and he was a few minutes late. But hi everybody. We're going to talk about Cowboys stuff on something that's definitely not called Trust the Tape. But I'm Jeff Kavanaugh of DLLS Sports, the DLLS Cowboys Show, and that's Bryan Broaddus of 105.3 The Fan, and everywhere else. And Brian was watching college players, even though you said you weren't going to do that till December.
I started watching them last night, and then I didn't have anything to do this morning, so I got Travis Hunter done. I got to learn how to pronounce my man's name at first name at Arizona. McMillan, the wide receiver, 6'5", 212. Boy, he's a good player.
Okay.
Mason Graham. Okay, one of the best defensive tackles in the draft is from Michigan.
Yeah, that's hilarious to me. I want him. I would love him to be a Cowboy.
Okay. This is you want him to be a Cowboy?
I would love him to be a Cowboy, but so much of the fan base would just be like, "No, Michigan."
This is going to be different, I think, for Mason Graham. And I think when fans, they dive in and they start to kind of, they get film together, or however they watch, however they consume or listen to us, they're going to see Mason Graham. And if you've watched Michigan play in the past, it's kind of been a read and react. Under Wink Martindale, it's more of a attacking kind of a defense. So Mason Graham is not sitting in a 2-point stance and then engaging and then looking for where the ball is. I mean, he's playing up the field.
He's banned, Brian.
Yeah,
he's banned.
Well, the Michigan's got a couple of guys too. They got a really good corner named Will Johnson at 6'2", 202. If Michigan players are banned, then you're probably looking at not having maybe the best defensive tackle, maybe the best one technique. Again, very, very, very early into this process. And then Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan, he's a good player too.
Yeah.
So
welcome to the cold open of this show, where we just talk about what Brian's been watching this morning. I do have the tape, but I hadn't started yet. And you told me you were going to start till December. I was like, oh, I'm going to be ahead of Brian.
You know what? I do that. I do this podcast with Vach, and he and I, we did a deal last night. We were supposed to be breaking down like Philadelphia's defense. And the next thing you know, it turned into, what position would you play Travis Hunter?
Well, that's easy though. That's easy.
What'd you play him?
He'd be a corner that plays receiver.
I'll tell you what, man, the son of a gun. I know
that's the rules. If you have that scenario,
you can't
be a part-time corner. You play corner and you come play some receiver.
Let me tell you this, man. I'll tell you, he can do both. I wouldn't doubt this dude being a big-time wide receiver.
But then are you letting him play any corner? Part-time corner's weird.
Maybe you get some situations on third down and stuff. Can you do that? I don't know. Let me tell you what, watching him play wide receiver, you're gonna probably critique the routes. You know wide receivers really well, so I'm interested to see.
Better be nuanced in his route running, Brian.
I'm just saying, man, this dude he makes plays, man. He's like, people are like, oh yeah, you play him at court. See, we were in a discussion last night. I mean, this kid is like, he plays press and he can run, and he's one of my favorite things, Jeff, is, and you know this because you've worked with me for so long.
He can run across the field.
Damn right he can.
The guy runs away from him and he can get there.
Damn right he can. And you know what? Let me tell you this. With all the crossing routes that are played in this league nowadays, give me somebody that can carry damn routes inside, and can stay with and tackle, and like, okay, if it's a catch, then all of a sudden it's it's not a 18-yard gain, it's a 4-yard gain or a 5-yard gain. Give me that guy. But I'll tell you what, man, this guy he's got a big time quarterback throwing to the ball.
It's not, Brian. That's not what we're doing. It's not.
What do you mean?
It's not the draft. It's not.
These are players, Jeff. These are guys that can help your team get better. So we're not talking about a 3-5 football team at this point.
All right, I support it. I'll start tonight.
No, you can start when you want. I didn't think I was, because I had, like I say, I was working with Vach. We just started talking, and I said, listen, every Friday, instead of like, and I think people once that Dak Prescott went out with injury.
Oh yeah.
I think that's where the fan base said, okay, we can't endure any more of this. And Cooper Rush, if Cooper Rush has proven if he has a good defense, he's capable of winning games. The problem is they're not a good defense right now, and that's going to be a problem. But
yeah, 3-5 Cowboys makes for.
Did you talk Aisha into doing some draft, like her and I doing a show together?
She asked me yesterday. She was just
Yeah,
like,
I think
for the draft, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sure Bryan and I's show is just going to turn into draft.
Yeah,
So,
I think you need to get that young lady involved. I think we can fix this team. They give us a top 10 pick in every round. Let's go.
Well, you know what I'm going to want to do with the top 10 pick.
Oh, you're going to draft Sky Moore. We know.
No, I'm going to trade down.
What? Oh, Captain Trade down rights again.
Yeah, I'm going to trade down because that way you could like.
It's about time for those T-shirts. We get T-shirts again this year.
Yeah, we need to get some merch made because then you can F around and pick a running back or whatever. You can pick whatever position you want if you trade down and give me another pick.
Eric Chiafal and I went into it. I mean, crusty Bryan Broaddus is going to want a running back. Like I'm from the.
I heard you guys yell at each other. It was real awkward.
We always yell at each other. We always.
At some point, he definitely made you mad, and you were like, "All right, whatever."
No, he challenged the draft show. He says, "Well, we'll need to get somebody else on the draft show then." And I said, "That's when I was fine until he said that."
I got news for anybody out there. If you want to do the draft show, get up in there. I tell you what, getting even 150 guys in the bank, that's a lot of damn time.
Oh no, I'll tell you what. The draft takes a lot out of you. It really does. And then
like Sky Moore turns out actually sucks, and so the whole thing was for nothing. Although I tell you what,
I just had to throw that in because there's been a lot of times you've been right.
You see Mighty Mouse last night making plays?
Yeah, I did.
Or Darius Washington.
Yeah, I did.
5'7". Yeah. My guy.
Your guy. But yeah, hey, listen, you gotta remember the ones that don't work out that you really fought for. Those are the ones that hurt the most.
Yeah, but I like to have fun with it. Every time somebody asks me about Sky Moore, I just tell them the same thing. I'm like, just needs a better quarterback. Got to get him to a real quarterback.
get him to a real team. But yeah, but you're right. You're right. This it takes a lot out of you this draft. I mean, you're trying to do. That's why I always waited till like December. And there's fans that are clamoring for this, and then there's the fan that will put in the comments like, Bryan, the season's not over yet. The season's, and I'm like, you know what, sir? You're absolutely right. The season's not over yet, but you know what? If I could kind of take a peek at Travis Hunter or McMillan and Graham and Johnson and Starks from Georgia, I'm going to do that.
Let's ask the people who are in the chat. We have 181 people here. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Tell your friends and family.
Hey, did you guys get over 10,000 subs?
Oh, we sure did. The Mavericks postgame show didn't go off until they refused to stop broadcasting until they got there.
Well, congratulations, man. You guys are doing quality work there. But yeah, get Aisha, talk to her. Let's get this lineup together here. Get this thing going.
Yeah.
At some time. We don't have to get it going now, but
I bet. Look, we can start on 12-1. But that's the question for the chat. Do you want Cowboys or do you want draft?
Tuesday,
on November 8th.
Monday and Thursday draft talk. Even if it's just Thursday draft talk.
Yeah, maybe one of them's draft and one of them is still Cowboys. Like you got to find.
How do you feel
ways.
about this team right now, Jeff?
I mean, it's over. It's definitely over. It's super over.
It's a shame, man. It seemed like like a couple of weeks ago, you and I were standing on a fence line in Oxnard, California, and all of a sudden now it's kind of over.
Yeah, and it was over fast, and so it's like you just have to find different ways to talk about it, and you have to find different things to watch. Like now, the only thing that matters to me is like watching: is Guyton going to get better as the season goes along? Is
there you go.
Get better?
Like what you're doing there now. Like what you're doing.
Yeah, and like that's what I'm watching. Like somebody asked me, and I kind of rely on questions from people because I think it helps send your brain in different ways that you didn't think of. And like somebody asked me, how many offensive linemen on the Cowboys do you trust in 2025? And my answer was 2, and it leads to a fun debate because people are like, well, what? Tyler Guyton's going to be fine. And I'm like, he might be, but the word was trust. And I trust that Cooper Beebe's coming along. I obviously trust Tyler Smith. And then it's like, all right, where are you with Guyton? And my answer is, I'll continue to watch.
Did they mess up with this new line coach? Did they mess up there?
With Solari?
Mike Solari, yeah.
It's interesting. Like, that's one of the things where
Because it looks like the right tackle is kind of clearly regressed. It looks like Father Time has caught up with the right guard.
I wouldn't doubt that it's a mistake. It's just, for me, that's kind of tough. I'm not smart enough to know if I should blame the position coach, I guess.
I'm not blaming. I'm just wondering if the transition of, if you have, Todd Archer and I from ESPN were talking about this a bunch. Archer always feels like, listen, your coordinators are really important. The next most important coach is probably your offensive line coach.
Yeah.
And, that affects, we've seen, this organization has a history of outstanding line coaches. And then, then you get Paul Alexander in here, and then, they get rid of him halfway through the season. Sometimes it doesn't work. And I just kind of wonder with Mike Solari, was there disconnect with the right tackle? Are the young guys, could the young guys maybe developed a little faster, Guyton, let me tell you what, if you look at the Atlanta metrics and you watch the film, you're like going, oh, damn, Guyton played better.
And then you look,
yeah.
Yeah, because 2 weeks ago, watching him, I was like, okay, this looks better.
San Francisco, they're trying to help him a little bit. It's not like, but last week against Atlanta, he's 81% out there by himself, one-on-one, and he allows the least amount of pressures. Your Hall of Fame right guard gives up 7, and
it's 78 penalties though. We got to get it together, young man.
Oh, I know, but the team as a whole gets penalized. There's people that will tell you that, well, the 5 years that Mike McCarthy's been here, they have the best they've ever finished in penalties was 23rd. It's best. It gets, and I know you do a quality post game show. You get tired.
I think you do a quality post game show.
Well, thank you. We just do
105.3 The Fan.
We just do it longer than you get.
Yeah, we just cram it in there and get out of there.
Yeah, you do. You do a good job with that. I'm
kind of my motto.
I'm very envious of that. Cram it in there and get out of there. Yeah, I like that.
There's no show that requires more than an hour. Get it done and get out of there.
God bless you. But every post game, you sit there and you listen to Mike McCarthy say, and the penalties, the penalties where we got to do something about the penalties. Mike, you've been saying it for 5 years, sir. It is what it is. It's either you don't have disciplined football players. It's something that needs to be looked at in the draft process. How are you a penalized player? Are you a guy that's susceptible to penalties? There's something, you can't sit there every post game and talk about penalties and say we got to do something about it. But it's 5 years, sir.
Yeah.
It's 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't quite get the, it's not blame. It's reality. It's if there, like I say, this team is not, and somebody loved my analogy. This is not the 77 Oakland Raiders where you just bully and penalty and you're but you get all these penalties, you lead the league in penalties every year, but you got, a great team so you can overcome. This team right now can't overcome. They cannot overcome a negative play. Just can't.
Well, no, there's no explosion to the offense. There's no downfield stuff. If you need more than 5 yards a pop, you're up at street pretty much.
Kellen Moore going to try and hang 100 on you this weekend?
I think so. Yeah, he pretended it's not a big deal, but I think Kellen Moore probably has more. Well, I think it's probably more in Dan Campbell's DNA because they feel like they got jobbed last week, and it may not be as in Kellen's DNA, but he's got more reason to want to hang 100 on you. Like, Dan Campbell, you just happened to lose a football game and you're mad. Yeah. Kellen Moore was like, okay, yeah. I was a problem. All right, I wasn't good enough. Okay.
Yeah. Like you're near the bottom in the offense, and and I'm over here. They are playing better. I know that, but I still everybody tells me about the last 4 games on defense and stuff, and I'm looking at you played Cleveland, Giants, Cincinnati, and Jacksonville. Cincinnati had a good game last night offensively, but you're talking about 31, 26, 17, and 21. When you talk about offensive ranking and stuff like that, hey, there's talent. There is some serious talent on the Philadelphia Eagles defense. but they've also got some things you can kind of look at that, like I went back and looked at all the explosive plays that are run against them. All the rushes all seem to be off the edges, all seem to be when people were attacking Sweat and Huff. 5.3 yards a carry when those guys are on the field, and like 3.6 when they're off the edges.
Rico Sisson, Turpin, Lamb.
But here's Philadelphia. They're going to catch another bad offense this week.
Yeah, yep.
They're going to catch another bad offense, and and they'll have success, and away they go.
This is going to be a disrespectful question. Do you care which quarterback plays? Like, do you have a strong
I do care.
opinion?
I do care. I do.
You want which one?
I want Trey Lance to play.
Why?
Because I think that his upside is more that somebody would sign him to a bigger deal if he played well.
So we're fighting for a comp pick.
Bingo.
Draft season.
I'm trying. Maybe this team right now, everybody's like, you'll give me the ice tank. You give me the ice tank. This team doesn't need the ice tank. They're just marching along the ice right now, and naturally will lose. This team will lose by 5 or 6 points every week if you let it. Yeah. They will. That's just the way they are. That's just the way they're built right now. And, so to me, I'm thinking that maybe that Trey Lance has more upside, and if he were to play better, somebody would give him a better contract, and then you would maybe get a better comp pick. I'm trying my best to recoup as close to my 4 as I could. That's what my selfish, and I know it's not going to help me till 2026, but psychologically it would help me better.
If Cooper Rush is better,
he might be.
What about if he plays well? His contract's up too.
Oh, I think it's. But where do you think? Here's the old floor and ceiling conversation.
Right. That somebody's still going to bet on Trey Lance, but nobody would bet on a guy who's better than him.
That's welcome to the NFL, Jeffrey.
I know.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. You will sit there and look at tape all day and like, boy, I tell you what, though, you watch that Trey Lance. I know he can't read coverages very well, and he's going to make mistakes in the red zone.
Yep.
But gosh, look at this run.
Yep.
Pocket broke down, 28-yard run. God, Cooper Rush can't do that. But Cooper Rush can throw the ball 28 yards accurately to Lamb, and Lamb could either catch it or drop it.
Nobody wants to run 5 plays in a row of each quarterback just reading the defense and throwing.
No.
All right.
We're not interested. We're not interested in that, Jeffrey. What are you talking about over there?
I'm having the guy on who played against Trey Lance in the national championship game today on the DLLS Cowboys show. Did you know that Ben DiNucci and Trey Lance played for a national title? I
didn't know that, man. I like DiNucci. DiNucci has got some really good opinions. I think DiNucci has got some media savvy to his game, where maybe DiNucci could be a guy.
DiNucci is fun, and he sent me a couple of golf hats. Can't wait till they get here.
You know what? Nooch was on with us, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'll send you the hats." And it's been a while.
Yeah, that's why you have to make sure you have his cell phone number, and sometimes you have to follow up. Like last night,
I think Zach Wolchuk followed up like 2 times. I think.
Oh, well, he also likes me better. Like his.
Oh, I do.
His fiance and I won a volleyball championship together, so
there
we're
you
tight.
go. There you go, man. Hey, nothing wrong with that. No.
I told him I sweated through all my hats, and he was like, "Well, then I should send you the hats that are made for that." And I was like, "Yeah, you should."
Yeah, we were trying to ask him how to clean hats, and he really didn't have a good plan for that. So he just it was how do you clean hats? And he's like, I have no idea. You just wear a new hat. And I go, that's an even better plan. Just every day you play golf, break out a new hat, like you're on the PGA Tour or the LPGA Tour. Yeah,
he got that True Brand money. He ain't. What are you talking about? Clean a hat? Just grab it. And plus, he probably has boxes at the house. So it's like, what are you talking about? Just grab a new one.
Did you hear Kirby Smart got asked a question yesterday about his visor?
No.
He wears these a visor guy, and so some guy from the some Georgia station or newspaper goes, Coach, you're known as a visor guy.
Yeah.
And Kirby's like, yeah. He goes, can you kind of tell us how the plan is for the visor when you?
Oh, okay. I like this line of questioning, honestly, because I almost became a visor guy. I bought 6 of them and I wore them for about a week.
And he goes, and Kirby Smart looked at the guy and goes, I just pick whatever visor they put on the, there's a visor sitting in my locker. I wear it for the game. I got 3 visors behind my desk. I just pick one up, put it on, and go to practice.
I think I recycled all mine. Otherwise, I'd grab one and put it on.
I have. He goes. I have no effing time to be thinking about visors and stuff like that. The poor guy was trying to ask a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. Hold on, give me 5 seconds. I just want to see if in this pile over here my visors are here or if I donate.
Okay,
them.
Yeah. If you want more draft talk, just let Jeff and I know in the comments. I cannot see the comments right now because Jeff's doing this for my mental health.
Yeah, I protect you.
Yeah, you're protecting me from my mental health is what he's doing.
Looks like I donated them. But no, I thought visor guy looks cool if he's got the
you gotta
right
have hair. You gotta have hair to have visor guy. Like visor guy, like my guy at Oklahoma State, like Gundy. See, he's got that great that goes back and then it goes out the back.
Yeah.
If you have good hair, you could be visor guy.
But what they don't tell you is the visor's not comfortable.
That metal
There's something
class,
more comfortable about having full
metal
hat.
class. Yeah, but I'll tell you what.
They don't tell you that.
Yeah, I don't. Me and my bucket hats.
Oh yeah, I would love a good.
I worry about my ears all the time. But anyway,
next, hey, let me ask you a Cowboy thing. I have two that I want to get to.
Sure.
Only Jeff would buy 6 visors and stop wearing them within a week. Yes, KG, that is exactly what I do.
They're on the floor somewhere in his house. I would assume that one of the dogs has probably got one in his mouth right now.
I bought a kayak and I've already used it twice, but then I gave it away while I was at the lake because there's this nice old man fishing and he was talking about how much he and his wife loved kayaks and that they saved up a bunch of money and they drove to Oklahoma to get the right deal. And then they came home and they had them chained to the roof of the car and somebody stole them. So I gave him my kayak and I bought the bigger version, which showed up yesterday. I'm ready to kayak again. Sometimes I buy stuff that I like, but I may never open the new
That's
kayak.
nice. You gave it to the gentleman there. I'm sure he really appreciated here later in life that he got it's a shame. It sucks in the world that we get our stuff stolen like that though.
Well, he wanted to go fishing. Because I told him, I was like, fish are jumping like crazy down the creek.
It takes some work to fish out of a kayak, by the way.
He said he's going to figure it out.
Some balance.
Yeah. He said he's going to figure it out. 2 things. One, I heard Mike McCarthy yesterday, and I enjoyed the hell out of it because Mike McCarthy took shots at the front office, and it was great, but he did it in a McCarthy way where I don't know how many people noticed it, but he absolutely was talking about, like, you like to sign your veteran free agents so that you could go play a game. Then
in April.
Draft a double player, and you want to make sure that you have all your guys there in April, definitely not signing guys later in the offseason. And I just thought it was hilarious because this is what I've been waiting for. It's going bad enough. Mike's had enough of Jerry saying whatever he wants, and he going to start firing back.
Yep. Good for Mike. Mike, I'll say this though, Mike, unfortunately for Mike, this year did not turn out well for him. But he resuscitated his career. He really, really did. He came here. If somebody wants a veteran coach who takes care of his players, now he's going to have to think about his hiring practices for his coaches. You need to not hire friends. It's just, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. You need to hire people that are smarter than you. That's what you need to do. That's in football. That's how it works. Dan Campbell goes out and gets Aaron Glenn. I mean, Aaron Glenn and him work together, but Aaron Glenn's a really smart guy. Ben Johnson.
You can hire your friends if they're awesome at the job.
Yeah, if they're awesome. But I mean, hiring your friends sometimes, if they're not good, it can get you fired. And Mike is overly loyal to his guys. And unfortunately, that's where we're at right now. Is it raining outside?
What's going on over there?
Is it raining?
Oh, let me see. Not over here, not right this second. I know it's going to.
North Dallas, it's raining right now, I believe. Yep.
Mingo trade. Did you my thoughts were just overpay, but I remember that I was interested in that player, and that's fun at least. They're clearly looking for a big receiver, whether it's going to be him or Floynar. I feel like they overpaid, but what were your thoughts when they traded for Jonathan?
Was that you, or is that somebody asked that question?
That's me.
Cool.
Why?
No, I just wondered. I was curious. It's a really good question. I thought I was going to give our fans some credit for.
Oh no, I'm the best fan. Yeah, I'm the best question answer here.
I feel like to me it was an overpay. They had a grade of a 1.30 on the guy, so that was the top of the 3rd round is where they had the player.
And a year and a half into him not doing well and falling off a depth chart, he was worth a 4, huh?
Yeah. Well, what happens to you there is the young player thing, under control, that kind of thing. I'll tell you what, I think the player's got some ability. I like his size. I like the run after catch. We'll see about concentration levels at times with some of the things. I think his quarterback play, and I'm including Andy Dalton, and I apologize to you TCU fans or Texas fans of Andy Dalton, but that quarterback play did him no favors. No favors at all. And did they overpay? Sure they did. They absolutely overpaid for that. Because what's going to happen is day 3, you and I are going to be sitting in a room talking about this draft, and we're going to talk about what players we have left on our board after night 2 of the draft.
And it's going to turn out that we're dead wrong and those guys can't play, but we're going to think that we want somebody.
The fourth round seems to work pretty good for the Cowboys, though. Seems to be a pretty good area of picking players, because what happens is you take the best player that's on your board. That's what you do. And
they would have been early in the 4th, probably.
That's my issue, bro. That is my issue right there, that I'm going to, and then if I want to get back in, if I don't trade back or something like that, and I don't recoup that during the first 2 days of the draft, and I want to get back in, what's it going to cost me? Probably 2 more picks. So here I am. I'm a draft and develop team, and now I've used a pick to go get a guy, and I hope Mingo works out. I really, really do. I hope he works out. If he doesn't, then okay, well, you threw the dice. It didn't work. But now if you're trying to get back in, man, you sit through that 4th round and watch player come off that board, player after player after player. That sucks. That sucks to start day 3 like that.
And I don't know who my coach is going to be. He might have no interest in the guy that you traded for because he has 2 more years.
But I just worry about them trying to get back in the round and having to use 2 5s, say, to get back in. And now you've basically used 3 picks for a player that maybe couldn't play. Yeah. That's the thing that bothers me the most. So, I'm all for going and getting guys. I think it was an overpay considering the lack of skins on the wall. Yeah. If you're going out and getting Adams or, one of these guys like that, we've you go out and you're getting one of those guys.
That's for this year, and they're not doing things for this year.
No. It seems like they're a little off right now, and they've been a little off on their on their compensation chart, I think, for some of these players.
Well, somebody's got to take the keys from Grandpa. All right, Brian, I got to go. I got to go get a snack on my way to work. Make sure
what kind of snack you gonna get? What kind of snack you gonna get?
I want to do Chick-fil-A. I'm a few minutes late today, so I don't have time for it. I might have to go McDonald's. I don't know. I'll see when I get in the car.
Good luck. Have fun.
All right. Have a great day, Brian. 105.3 fan. Love the Star podcast. You see with Vacho Lombardi, all the things. I'm going to do my show for DLLS Sports, DLLS Cowboys, and that's what we're doing. All right. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Speak cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy, or else.